So, in this video, this is going to be magic tips and tricks, or rather just magic tips number 3. 2 videos before this, the card arc. This is where I teach you how to arc the cards in a nice pristine manner. And then the second one was the card wave, which kind of involves a card arc. And you can take these off, and you push it up and go like that. And it pushes them over, but only a certain number of them. So, normal deck of playing cards here. In this video, I am going to teach you how, not saying that you should use it, and especially not saying that you should use this if you're playing for money, but just fooling around with your buddies or whatever. So, this is how to cheat at 5-card stud. Now, the way you're going to do this, I already have it set up for me to get 4 of a kind. Now you're wondering, well, hey, let's say you're playing with 3 of your buddies. Now how in the heck are you going to just have these in this order in order to have them dealt to you and only you, no one else? Because obviously every 3rd card would be yours because you're the dealer. So this would be first buddy, second buddy, dealer, which would be you. First buddy, second buddy, you. First buddy, second buddy, you. But how's that supposed to work then? Well, it's very, very, very simple. You just have to learn how to draw from the bottom without people noticing. The faster you are, the better. But one of the best ways and best methods is where you make it appear as though you're grabbing from the top, when in actuality, you're just using the top of your hand to cover what you're actually doing from the bottom. And you can deal it. In this case, for me, it was my king that I had in my hand. And then after that, of course, after the king had come, it would be the 4 deuces. So you can be deuce. I'll just deal them up for now. 4 deuces. Now, it's very simple, but it takes a lot of practice. And it's also very important that they don't find this out before the hand is over or before you've all been dealt your cards. Now, a good way to get people leading or getting them to say, hey, well, I have a close, good hand, so I'm going to bet my chips. Now, remember, I said not playing with money. This is just chips, like fake money, air money, the money that grows on trees that doesn't exist, that kind of money. So, what you're going to do, you're going to take your plotted hand. This can be 4 of a kind, can be a royal flush, but you don't want, usually you wouldn't want it to be a royal flush because the odds that they get a royal flush are highly stacked against them. But at the same time, you don't want it to seem like you have a huge, perfect hand that no one can beat. You want it to be a hand that seems more usual than not. 4 deuces and a king would not be that suspicious. But 4 of a kind is always suspicious. But then again, you don't want 3 of a kind because then there's a possibility that they get a, for example, straight flush, or they get a full house. The list goes on. So you want a powerful hand, but not the best. So what you're going to do, you're going to take out all the aces, all the kings, all the queens, all the jacks, and then from there, just find all these in the deck. You're going to mix these up. You take them, you just cut them. It's hard to shuffle a small amount of cards. Let's see if I can do it properly. Alright, here we go. That didn't do anything. Okay, so there you go. Now you're going to put this at the top part of the deck. Of course, you're going to put your cards at the bottom. Also, important when you're dealing from the bottom, make sure when you're holding it, you're really not holding it that tightly. You don't want it to seem as though it is unnatural. You look, just look at the difference. If I'm holding it like death grip tight, I can barely get it out of there. Now if I'm just holding it calm, nice, and natural, it comes out very easily. But at the same time, you don't want to do it too quickly to the point of where your hand, you don't have it positioned. You want your hand as positioned as far in front of it as possible. Now, if you're playing on a circular table, of course this is not going to work. But if you're just playing at a normal square dinner table, it should work very easily. No one can tell. Now, one of the most common mistakes when you're dealing upside down or to the bottom is to accidentally flip the card. Now, it's more common than you think. When you take it out, you will accidentally flip it, just as dealing normal. The problem is, when you flip it this way, accidentally, it could roll. When it rolls, then they see your card. Of course, you never want anyone to see your cards, because then it takes out the fun of poker, basically. So if you're playing 5-card stud, we all know the dealer gets dealt to himself last. So let's say this is buddy 1 square, buddy 2 square, this is my spot. So we can just deal from here. Just go out and do this hand here. It's not very hard. Of course, you can tell that I'm dealing from the bottom. You just need to get your pieces straight here. Oh, crap. Okay. That was fun. So, this is buddy 1's cards. Okay, never mind. We're playing 7-card stud, not 5-card stud. Alright. So, there's buddy 1's cards. It looks pretty darn good, don't it? So whoever has the best five-piece hand would win. Now, I didn't even plan this, but this is near to perfect. So you can take this person's queen here, and this person's queen here. And obviously that's a pair of queens. And then you have ace, and another ace, and then a queen. So hopefully everyone knows that in 5-card stud you would use all 5 cards, and in 7-card stud you throw away 2 cards and use the best 5 cards. So hopefully everyone knows what 3 of a kind and a pair is. That is called a full house. Now this is a pretty high full house actually. This is 3 queens and 2 aces. Now coincidentally, in my hand I have 4 deuces, just as I had planned, which actually 4 of a kind does beat a full house. And let's see what happened to buddy 2's hand here. Well, they're doing okay. They got a pair of aces and jacks. So they got just 2 pair. Now, the average person would look at this and say, oh my god, look at all them face cards. And that's going to entice people to bet. Now, you would think that it's kind of counterintuitive about what I said when I said, oh, well, if you use a royal flush, it seems suspicious. Well, here, it isn't suspicious because this is being dealt to them, not to you. So they think they're being the lucky one. They think that they've gotten the good cards, that you haven't set it up this way. No one would think that you would set it up for them to get good cards. It doesn't make sense. But, in fact, it does. All you need to do is have better cards. So, that does it. And let's say I would just bet, let's say, 10 imaginary grow on $3. And bet the 10 he calls, obviously. This guy raises, the guy with the 2 pair. He raises me 5. Raises everybody 5. So I raise again, 10. And he calls. He calls. We flip our hands over, and simple as that. I win. The biggest flaw in my whole strategy, though, is dealing from the bottom is an art. You need to learn how to do it fast and learn how to do it clean. You never, ever, ever want to make it seem like you're dealing from the bottom. It's just stupid. And since I haven't mastered the art yet, and I probably never will because it's something that I don't intend to, it's all about tricks. But this isn't really a trick. This is more of a simple thing that everyone knows how to do. And if you didn't know how to do, well, that's why you watched this video. So until next time, keep practicing those tricks.